I don't get to talk to many UK edtech startups, so it's an absolute delight today to meet Mike Alcock. Mike is the founder and the managing director of Joggle Learning, and it is a very interesting AI startup. So, welcome, Mike. First of all, it's very good to see you.
It's great to be here, Nigel. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Tell us about yourself, but above all, tell us about Joggle Learning.
Certainly. I'm probably a veteran of the e-learning industry. Been in this a long time. Showing my age, when I started, I was delivering learning content that was on CD-ROMs when every laptop had a CD player. That shows you where I came from. In 2002, I was one of the original founders of a company called Atlantic Link, and we invented the world's first cloud-based e-learning authoring tool. We had a great run with Atlantic Link. We sold it in 2010 to Kaplan of the USA. I worked for Kaplan for a year or two, got itchy feet, and I got approached by Jonathan Satchel of Learning Technologies Group, who had a product called Gomo that was also an e-learning authoring tool. And he asked me if I would come and run that business and try and repeat the Atlantic Link success with Gomo, which we were able to do. And we turned Gomo from very small revenues into a multi-million dollar company that did very well in the UK and the US markets. So that's my background. And I'm now a managing director, as you said, and founder of Joggle Learning, hoping to repeat the trick for one more time.
Don't say one more time.
So
At least one more time. I would prefer.
at least one more time, yeah. Okay, with my background in the learning industry, I've been approached by a few people, peers, colleagues, former colleagues, saying, "Come on, Mike, you've done a couple of startups in the learning industry. They've been pretty successful. And now you're figuring out AI with your Joggle business. Why don't you do something with AI?" And I thought about it long and hard. I thought, well, the obvious way to go would be an AI authoring tool because I've done two authoring tools in the past, but I thought that's relatively simple and not particularly challenging and trivial in some ways. I declined that option. Then I thought, people were saying, do an AI powered LMS. But again, I, I don't really want to build an LMS. There's hundreds of them out there, and every one of them is sticking a little AI sticker on their website saying, oh, we're AI powered, but are they really? Or, have they just got a little bit of front end? So I was thinking there's an opportunity here, but I wasn't exactly sure where it was. And then I started to think about the problem of knowledge management and the problem that most customers of LMS providers have is that they're spending a fortune on content, they're spending a fortune on their LMSs, but the engagement level is stuck at 20 or 30%. And even with the new hip vendors with the Netflix type user interfaces, they're not getting significantly better figures than that, maybe 30 or 40%. So I thought there's all this money being spent on content and LMSs, but the end users can't get hold of it. So to give you an example, if you take money laundering, it's a very typical e-learning problem. You have a money laundering course, it sits in an LMS, it's taken once a year, you click next to continue for an hour, you try and pass the test, you get through, you think, great, I don't have to do that again for another 12 months, and you never look at that content again. But 6 months later, when somebody wanders into the branch with a wet suitcase full of £10,000 in cash, you're thinking, oh my goodness, what do I do? I know I took that money laundering course, but I can't remember. So with Joggle Learning, we've built an agentic AI layer that can sit above any LMS, any SCORM file, any video file, any audio file, any PDF, and interrogate and produce AI powered answers. So that employee in that scenario can type in, how do I handle a £10,000 cash transaction? Joggle Learning will go and do a retrieval augmented generation search, so a RAG search, latest AI technology of all of the data sources, the SCORM files, the videos, the audios, PDFs, the policies, everything that the company has said you're allowed to look at this Joggle, and it will write an answer. Mike, in order to handle a £10,000 cash transaction, here you go. And it comes up with a paragraph of information. If you think that's pretty good, but I need to know a little bit more, we have a two-stage process. So you've got a more details button, and you can then get the detailed answer from Joggle Learning, again, compiled from all these sources. But also linked to that are the original source materials. And the beauty of what we've done with Joggle Learning is we've decrypted SCORM. So if you think, okay, this sounds really good, but I just wanted to have a quick look at the SCORM course and make sure it's, telling me the right answer, You can click the button, it'll fire up the SCORM course, and it will open it. At the page are all about £10,000 worth of money laundering. You don't have to click next to continue, go through 10 different topics to get to the answer you want. Joggle can bypass all the navigation restrictions and take you straight to the moment of the need. It's the same with video. If we find a video that's an hour long about anti-money laundering and the bit about high value cash transactions is 35 minutes in, Joggle Learning will open the video at 35 minutes and you click play and you're immediately at the moment of need. And that's the problem we're trying to solve.
Surely you don't need any learning material to do this. If you've got something like Joggle that can search policies, procedures, insights, comments from staff, and it can pull those forward, you've got a kind of immediate learning opportunity and an immediate learning moment without needing to resort to any formal courses. So it would work for a company that doesn't have access to a lot of content, but it does have policies and procedures and
Yeah, yeah.
individual commentary and video comments and video testimonies and all those kinds of things. It will find all of that, won't it?
It will, yes, and that's the beauty of what we're doing. So it'll find content in SCORM files if you've got SCORM files. But it'll also find content in all of those other documents, and it will do an intelligent AI answer based on the information it finds. And what you do when you're setting up Joggle is say, right, Joggle, you're allowed to look here, maybe the LMS. You're allowed to look here, the video library. You're allowed to look here, the policies and procedures. So it's not going to hallucinate. It's not going to go to the internet unless you allow it. It's going to search your approved sources, so the answers it gives are effectively your approved answers, but it's giving you those answers in a matter of seconds rather than forcing you to search the LMS, launch the course, or search the SharePoint or Google Drive, find the appropriate videos, scroll through it for half an hour until you get to the moment of need. So Joggle's just basically solving that problem. If you've got an LMS, fantastic. If you haven't, it doesn't really
Doesn't
matter.
matter. But and
Yeah.
the other thing it solves is the person, behind the counter having to phone someone saying, I need to just talk to someone." "Oh, they're not there." "Oh, I just hang on, no, they're not there." And that embarrassment and that annoyance from the customer when you could get a very simple solution straight up there, and the guy can, or the woman who's dealing with the customer can take their time, appear to be professional, appear they're what they know, and they're just and they know that everything they say is official policy, and they just so you know they don't know that they're just looking it off the screen. They just think it's someone who knows what they're talking about, and so often meet people who occasionally have to deal with something they don't know what to do, and this matches that gap. So it fills that gap, doesn't it, in any organization? Of I'm not sure, help me.
Yeah, exactly. So learning in the moment of need, when that person needs the answer, Joggle's going to surface it at that moment, within 10 seconds. Whereas they might be saying to the customer, go and sit in the corner for 15 minutes. I'll phone the support desk. I'll ask my colleague. I'll search the LMS. You're doing it at the moment of need. And all of these organizations, they've got all this information. It all exists. It's just not easily accessible. And with the power of AI, we're now making it front and center and delivering it when people need it.
So it's more a performance support engine than anything else, isn't it?
Performance support and then knowledge engine. Yeah, in the moments of need. Interesting development though. We've just been retraining, so we have multiple AI agents producing the answers. But we've just introduced something called Joggle Nuggets, where it can analyze all the questions that are being asked. And if the most popular question is, how do I handle money laundering, or how do I handle a £10,000 cash transaction, for example? We can say to Joggle, create a Joggle nugget and assemble a brand new piece of content based on everything you've found, obviously sift and sort and recommend and sift and search, but create me a new module all about money laundering or £10,000 cash deposits, because that's the thing that most people are asking for. So not only does it answer the questions in the moment of need, it can now start creating new content.
Yeah, and therefore there's a shortcut to the most obvious answers. So where are we? Just tell me. I'm interested, Mike. This sounds good. Is it available? Would it take a lot to get it installed? Where are you in that cycle?
It's available to Yeah, it's available today. So it was literally a concept and an idea 5 months ago. We built a prototype in an AI tool just to sort of test the concept, see what people thought of it. And that was in June. I got the first production release of the system 2 weeks ago. It's now live. So it's now live and we are iterating. So the new Joggle Nuggets feature that creates new content, that actually went live 2 days ago, but it's available today. It's available in multiple different deployment options. So you can have it purely in the cloud. You can have it half on premise, half off. If you want, if you start to get worried about security, you can have it totally on premise. So if you're a high security regulated industry, financial services or pharma, we can install the whole thing and it can talk to your internal large
Yes.
language model as well.
But nothing
But
leaks. Nothing goes anywhere else.
Absolutely. So we
Yeah.
can keep it within your firewall if you're a high consequence industry. Even if it's on the internet, we can tell it not to go and search the internet. Don't go off and hallucinate and search the websites. You can again limit it to where it looks. So it's all held together by security and guardrails as well. But yeah, it's available today. We are looking at roughly 4 to 8 weeks from somebody placing a contract with us to deployment of the system once we've trained it on the data sources and done the integrations and so on. So relatively quick to put in. And if you've got an LMS, we think it will at least double your content usage from that LMS because all of a sudden people will be asking questions and we'll be pulling the answers straight back.
Thank
Yes.
Mike. This is very interesting, and I wish you luck. So basically, you're open for business. So anyone who's listening wants more information, they go to where? Joggle. What is the website?
It's Joggle Learning, all one word.com, jogglelearning.com. And I'm Mike at joggle.ai if anybody wants to contact me directly. But yeah, you can make an inquiry through the website, jogglelearning.com. And yes, we're open for business. We are already talking to quite a number of blue chip organizations and delighted to have more of those conversations over the next few months.
Yeah. So, Mike, thanks very much. The details are on the screen. People can take them down and get in touch. And I wish you all the very best. Thank you so much
Thanks,
for
Nigel.
talking to me today. Thank you.
My pleasure. Cheers.